Okay, welcome back. You've now completed step number 1, but it is an ongoing process because being a product of the product means that you're trying all the products over time. Your story is continuing to develop, and make sure that you record that data. Pay attention to how the products taste and how they're making you feel depending on how you're using them and what you're getting out of it. Your story will continue to develop and you will use it all the time to share how it's worked for you so that you can relate better to the customers that you're talking to. Other than that, it should have taken you less than 30 minutes to complete step 1. Now it's time to roll up our sleeves a little bit and get to some work for step number 2. We're going to break step number 2 up into 2 training videos because of the intensity and the detail of what we're doing, okay? That sounds a little bit scary. Yes, it does, and it should, and it is, and it's okay. This is what I want you to remember. All of these steps are ridiculously simple activities, but they are just as hard as they are simple because they are just as easy not to do as they are to do, okay? Nothing I'm going to explain here is rocket science. It's all very simple information. But it's really tough to get past this little mentality of thinking this is difficult and overcomplicating it. I promise you, your brain is going to try to make you overcomplicate this. Please just listen to how I describe the step of how to do this and keep it as simple and dumbed down as possible, and I promise you it'll make your life easier and will give you better results, okay? Just gotta, again, give me 1 ounce of that trust, 1% of that trust, and we'll get the rest. Everything that I'm about to teach you, I learned over a period of time in different pieces, and we've put it all together now over the early years in Organo, and it's pretty much all come from Mr. Holton Buggs, who is one of the top network marketers in the entire history of network marketing. But I'm going to go further to say one of the top philosophical and principle-based business people that I've ever met. Okay? His stuff is brilliant. On top of that, he's always collaborating with the people around him, the other leaders in the company, the founder, Bernie Chua, our co-founder, Mr. Shane Morand. Okay, these guys have tons of experience as well, and when they come together and put all the pieces together, it works. It's brilliant. It's genius. So that's what we're going to show you how to do. So step number 2, I'm not going to write out the points of the step. We've got it all right here. So step number 2, as outlined here, if I can see it, is build a list of contacts. Okay, so you can see it right there. Also in your back office, in your presentation booklet, in your getting started manual, in the telling the story presentation booklet. It's everywhere, okay? There's 4 steps. So step 2, building a list of contacts. What we're doing essentially is taking a long list of people, splitting it roughly down the middle to have half of those people be prospects potentially for the business and the other half be labeled as customers, okay? I will explain shortly why we're doing this, but that's that. The other parts of this entire step is to learn the 4 questions, which is our sampling method, okay? That's the 4 questions, which is our sampling system, and to get retail customers using our coffee sales script. Those are the 2 pieces that we're going to tackle in the next video. This video is going to be completely dedicated for how to build your list in the easiest possible method. When I first learned this information, it completely blew my mind. When I train this, it completely blows people's minds if they've never heard how to do this before, okay? Now remember, the 4 steps to success is all on one page. It's really, really simple. But you do need a coach or a mentor, somebody, okay, to walk you through each one and give you all the details of what's actually going on behind the scenes and how to do each one. That is exactly what these videos are for. Now I'm going to show you how to do step 2 and build a list of contacts, okay? Very important, guys. we are absolutely 100% going to want to judge every single name that we write down on that list. Okay? You know, at least in this world, 100 people that you can contact almost immediately, meaning you have their information to get a hold of them somewhere, either in your address book of old, in your cell phone, in your list of contacts, in your Facebook, in your Instagram, right? Snapchat, wherever, social media. You know how to get a hold of them through a relative, because it's a relative of a relative or a friend of a... Like, guys, we all know how to get a hold of at least 100 people. And if you don't think you do, you do. I guarantee you, you do. You're at least 18 years old if you're in this company, and you've met hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people in your lifetime, and you can get a hold of 100. What we're going to tap into is to show you how to get that list built, okay? So first step, if you think you need a bit of help, if you don't think you can just write down 100 plus names, go to your back office, as I suggested in the last video, go to Documents, and you'll be able to find a document called the Memory Jogger. It's a tool to help you to build your list faster and easier, okay? If you feel you need it, or if you're building your list and you get stuck at 70 and you need 100 and you can't write any more names, go get the Memory Jogger from your back office and use it. You'll get the other 30 names, no problem, okay? So assuming that we can get at least 100 names, here's what, so actually let's talk about the number first. If you are somebody who knows a lot of people, okay, don't stop at 100. Just keep writing names until you run out of names to write. And if you get to 200, 300, 400, you are off to the races like you wouldn't believe. Meaning, the bigger the list, the bigger the opportunity. Okay? And you're going to see why. Now, the very first thing we're doing, guys, is we're writing down as many names as fast as you possibly can, period. That is the entire exercise. Do not think ahead to what you're going to do with these names. Do not think ahead as to whether or not you want to even talk to that person. That is not important at all, okay? The weeding out of the people will happen later. So don't worry. Don't prejudge anybody for any reason. If they pop into your head, write down their name, okay? I am not making you or forcing you to contact them later, but you need them on your list for a reason. That's it. That's the best advice I can give you, because what happens is people start writing and they start freaking out and fearing what they're going to have to do with this name later, and then they don't write it down, and then they don't write the next one down, and they justify and make excuses for why these people shouldn't be on the list, and that's only hurting you and making everything more difficult and take longer, okay? Don't do that. Just write down as many names as you can, as fast as you can. Go to your cell phone, go to your contacts, start writing down from A to Z all the names. Go to your Facebook, anybody you missed on your cell phone, start writing them down. Wherever you need to go, think about your block. Okay, this is all the Memory Jogger does. It reminds you of people that you know in your sphere so that you can do that. Then you write down as many names as you possibly can. So I've got 20 names here. Yes, I did take the time from my head to just think up of 20 names in alphabetical order. And that's it. So that is the example list we're going to use. We're going to stick to 20, pretending it's 100, but I mean, it's the numbers come out the same, okay? Here is what we are doing. Once we have our list of a minimum of 100, hopefully 200 or 300 people, this is how we're going to split up the list. Now you've got them all. Again, no prejudgments. Now we're going to get to work and figure out who these people are and where they fit in. This is what we're looking for, okay? This is the 4-checker system. This is qualifying people just based on what you know of them, okay? Guys, these are guesses. Some you're going to know 100%. Most of them are just going to be good guesses based on how well you know these people. You're making snap judgments. You are, but that's okay. All we're doing is splitting them up into 2 categories, and this is the best way to do it. That is effective and is going to put them probably in the right categories, okay? So a 4-checker, what does that mean? A person who is a 4-checker means it is a person who has 4 check marks beside them because they have all 4 of these characteristics or attributes as far as you know. Okay? So what are these? Let's go through it. So the first thing is this person has a sphere of influence. What that means is this person knows a lot of people. They're involved in their community. They're involved in organizations. Maybe they're extroverted. They can be an introvert as well, but maybe they're social. They go to events and they have parties, whatever it is. But or somebody of influence, right? Somebody who knows generally a fair amount of people and they're fairly outgoing. That is somebody who has a sphere of influence. Usually they're respected by many, right? And that's why they have a sphere of influence. Okay, so that's the first characteristic that we're looking for in somebody that has all 4 of these points. The next one is a self-starter. Now this is somebody who is doesn't need to be motivated. Meaning, if they discover something that they're excited about, okay, and that they see a potential for, and they want to do this, it's somebody who's just going to get up and go get it, right? They're not going to need to be dragged by the hair and nagged and prodded to do things. They're going to be self-motivated and self-starting, and they're just going to get up and go, and they have that characteristic about them, okay? The next one is this. So they have the financial ability to start, okay? So this is not somebody who's necessarily got all their credit cards maxed and they're living paycheck to paycheck, and if you ask them to invest in a brand new startup business, they're going to have to go borrow money, or they're going to say, I got to wait till payday, okay? That's not what we're looking for. We're talking in this scenario, we're talking about somebody who you know has the financial ability to get started. If they saw an opportunity, for example, with us in Organo, they wouldn't need to wait till the next paycheck or try to pre-sell product or something like that. They actually have the means to get started right away, okay? So they have the financial ability to get started. Now, this last point is probably the most important in a lot of ways. And it's such an important point. We say the same word 3 times in 3 different ways. Coachable, trainable, and teachable, okay? Somebody who can humble themselves, silence the ego a little bit, and know that this is something new and that they don't know everything about it. Maybe they have a lot of experience in sales. Maybe they have experience in other networking companies. Maybe they have experience with coffee. Maybe they have experience with whatever. And they think they know it all. That is not this person, okay? The person who has all those experiences but says, you know what? I haven't done this before. I trust you because you have proven success in this and in this system, and tell me what to do and I will do it. Okay? They are coachable, trainable, teachable. One of the most important pieces of the puzzle when you bring on a new business partner. Okay? Now, my guess is if you've gone this far, meaning you've listened to about 40 to 45 minutes worth of these training videos, you are probably coachable, trainable, and teachable if you've gone this far in this video series already. So congratulations, keep being that, because that is going to get you to wherever it is that you want to get. Drop the marker. Okay, these are the 4 characteristics that we look for in a 4 checker. If they're a 4 checker, that means they're at the top of the list of prospects for business because they have all 4 of these characteristics, okay? They have the sphere, they're a self-starter, they're financially able to start, and they're coachable. If they have 4 checks, they're a 4 checker. So now we know what that means, okay? So here's what we do. Now we go to our list of 100 plus names, and we look at every single name and we say, is this person a 4 checker? Yes or no? If we're pretty sure that they have 3 of the characteristics, but the 4th they definitely don't, then don't even consider them. Okay? Do process of elimination. So let's look at Alice. Alice has a sphere of influence. She is a self-starter. She has the finances for sure. But you know what? Alice is not coachable. Not from what I've seen in my experience with Alice. She is not coachable. So you know what? She's not a 4 checker. Next, Adam. Adam has all 4 of these, absolutely. I know Adam quite well, and he definitely has those points. So we're going to put a 4 beside Adam. Adam is a 4 checker. That's it, guys. It's really simple. So now you go through your entire list. All you're doing is looking for 4 checkers, nothing else. Again, we are trying to make it as simple as possible, right? Keep it simple, one focused task at a time. 4 checkers. How many do we have? Well, I think Debbie is pretty on point, and she is a 4 checker for sure. And I think Eugene is a 4 checker. And let's say Irene and Louie. Okay, so we've got like 5 4 checkers. That's pretty good on a list of 20. Now what do we do? Well, we've got 5 people, right? Well, let's look. And in fact, that's probably too big of a number, but that's okay. So now we look back and we say, okay, are there any of these people that maybe are only lacking 1 of these points, but they have the other 3? So the example I gave with Alice, that's kind of the worst scenario. If Alice or somebody, let's take Kathy. Kathy is definitely coachable. She's a self-starter. She has a sphere, but she doesn't really have the financial ability to start at the moment because she's going through a rough time financially. That's still pretty good. And it's just money. That can be solved, right? But having these other 3 characteristics, that's pretty darn good. So we're going to say, Kathy, you're a solid 3. And that's great news, right? So then we're going to go through the list and we're going to look for people who have 3 out of 4 of those characteristics. And remember Alice, she had 3? Well, we're going to give her that 3, okay? And we're going to do that for Jack and for Pat, okay? So we've got 4 3 checkers in our list, okay? These are now top prospects, okay? We're going to look for one other thing, and this is what I call a gut checker, okay? Meaning, they may only have 2 of these or less. They may have only 1 of these characteristics, but they just have something. They've got that gleam in their eye. They have something that in your gut, you know that they have a potential for stardom. They have a potential. They're hungry enough. Maybe they only have, maybe they're only coachable. Maybe they only have a sphere of influence and they don't have the other 3, but they're hungry, right? And maybe you feel, I'm pretty sure I can make them coachable. Whatever it is. But in your guts, you know that that person on the list, when you look at Jill, you're thinking, man, she really should be on that list of 4 or 3 checkers. So you're going to put a G, okay, because she's a gut checker. In my gut, I think she has a potential to be a star. We're going to find out. We're going to ask her, right? So now we've got her. So let's say we've got one other person. Let's give Bob. Bob's a gut checker as well. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 people that now have a 4, a 3, or a G beside them. Guess what that is? That is now my list of business builders, okay? So step 2, build a list of coffee drinkers and business builders. I've just done it. I've completed my list because I've got half my list, a little bit more than half, that's fine, right, is business prospects, so they're my business builders. Everybody else that has nothing beside their name is now your coffee drinkers list, because either they or somebody in their household drinks coffee or tea at least occasionally, and that's where your customer base is going to start. Okay? That's it, guys. Really, really simple. If you saw this step and you saw I need to build a list of 50-50, and you tried to sit there and think, okay, who are coffee drinkers that I know? I need to find 50. And who are business builders that I know? I need to find 50. And try to, guys, that's a crazy way to try to build your list. If you write down as many names as you can, as fast as you can, get it a big, big, big list, and then break it down into these categories, it's way faster, way more efficient, way more accurate as to what we're going to do next with it, okay? And a lot easier for you. Now we are off to the races, okay? So the next video, we're going to talk about what we do with this list, okay? The first thing is we are going to sell and move a whole bunch of product into the marketplace, okay? Remember last video I talked about social media. Guys, this is the golden moment where you are going to build a strong foundation for your business that could last you a lifetime. And it is in this step number 2, that sets everything else up. If you can build a solid foundation by doing this and doing the next activity with the coffee sales script, I'm telling you, you will be unstoppable. Okay? How do I know this? This is exactly how I started with my business. And 9 years later, I am rock solid. I'm one of the most consistent business partners in all of Organo. Okay? After 9 years. And that's a fact. You can go back and you can see the records for yourself. But it is all based on the foundation that I built when I started my business by building a list and using the coffee sales script to move product out into my warm market before they had a clue what I was up to. And that is the key. This is why we don't blast to social media, because we want your warm market, okay, your family, your friends, the people you know, to be introduced to what you're doing through this next activity, okay? Now, this is the last point, and I really want you to pay attention to this. This is your training ground. Remember I mentioned that last video? To build on that, your warm market, guys, is your training ground. You know how you keep hearing those cliches? Oh, you always have to bug your friends and family and nag them and blah. That's not what we're doing, okay? Guys, we have coffee and tea and hot chocolate. This is not products that people don't already consume and want. And when you know that your product tastes as good as or better than anything else in the marketplace, when you know that it is absolutely 100% affordable and probably cheaper than what most of the people you know are drinking anyway, and on top of that, you know that what you're providing them is something that is so much better for them than the crap that they're currently drinking, okay? You cannot go wrong with this. So remember, you are not nagging or begging. You are not putting your friends and family out, okay? And we're not even asking them to join our business. I cannot wait to show you how simple and easy and comfortable, okay? Comfortable it is, both for your customers that you're reaching out to and for you, okay? It's not scary, it's really comfortable and easy, and it works every time. So next video, we're gonna learn the coffee sales script, and we're gonna learn the 4 questions to sample your way to success. So build your list. Your action step now is to do exactly what was taught in this video. Build your list and build it strong. If you get stuck, go to the memory jogger and reach out to your coach. If it's me, call me, text me, message me. I want to know how you're doing, how you're getting along, and how I can help you, okay? And whoever your coach is, same thing. Reach out to them and let them know how you're doing so that they can help you. To get this done as fast as possible, don't take a week to build this list. I'm telling you, book off an hour of time and just hammer it out and get it done. Eat that frog, right? Brian Tracy, if you haven't heard that term, look it up. Eat that frog, get it done fast, get it done quick, and then we can move on to the fun stuff. Then we're going to have some fun, all right? It's easy, it's simple, it's organo. We'll see you in the next video. Take care.